Welcome into All Things LA Real Estate. My name is PK Noel. Thanks for joining. We're going to get into the conversation as far as should you sell your home with Redfin. Now, let me get the cat out of the bag right off the jump. I'm a real estate agent. So obviously selling your home with Redfin is a direct competitor to myself. But everything I'm going to go over in this video is going to be factual from the things that they present. From a marketing perspective, I'm going to keep my opinions very limited, and they'll be very obvious when I do that. Obviously, I have the intent of people working with real estate agents when selling their home, but I want to give you a clear picture, and I promise you, I'm going to give you the honest opinion in regards to all this stuff. And let me lead by saying that Redfin is a great company. They have great statistical analysis. Everybody uses their site. They're going to be around for a very long time. It is Zillow and Redfin when it comes to the real estate game as far as the general population. So I'm not hating necessarily on the company. I'm just trying to give you some clarity towards exactly what it's going to look like, what are the pros, what are the cons as far as you selling your home with Redfin. And we're going to do this directly from the perspective of their big three selling points when it comes to what's the benefit of selling with Redfin. And we're going to start off with number one, where they promote. You'll see billboards. We have billboards here in Los Angeles. You see it all over the internet. They're like, we're going to sell your home for a 1.5% commission rate. Now, that sounds great. If you're anybody who's familiar with the real estate process, when you sign with a listing agent, a real estate agent, that number will be 5%. So when you look at it from that perspective, 5% compared to 1.5%, it sounds amazing. But you got to get directly into the fine print to start things off. And the first thing that you're going to notice is that they are still going to pay the buyer's agent. So if you're not familiar with the real estate process, it's very simple. 5% is what I would sign with if I was going to sell your home, right? 2.5 of that goes to me. 2.5 goes to the agent of the buyer. And they are still paying that. So it is not a 5% to 1.5% gap. It is a 5% to 4% gap. And 1% isn't nothing, right? Average home price in Los Angeles is a little under $1 million. Let's just round it up to make the math easy for me. So that 1% is going to attribute to a $10,000. And that certainly isn't nothing, right? So you can tier that down if you're watching from another market. If, you know, the homes in your area sell for $500K, that's going to be $5,000. If the homes sell for $250K, you know, $2,500, right? So that's certainly not nothing when it comes to that. The other thing I will mention on this point is watch the minimums. Now, this isn't as relevant here in California, especially here in Los Angeles, where home prices are very high, because the minimum varies. Usually it's around 7 to 8 grand, which obviously is less than the 1.5 they'll actually take. But in certain markets in Texas and Midwest, in certain areas, it's almost irrelevant, meaning the minimum that they are going to charge from a red agent position is going to be at or higher than 2.5% you would actually pay your selling agent. So make sure you look into the fine print when it comes to that. Let's jump over to their second selling point, where they say you are getting the opportunity to work with a whole team, which is basically code for the fact that you're going to be working with a bunch of different people. And that might sound like a nice thing, but the reality is it's going to be a headache. And this is their biggest sticking point when it comes to selling your home. When you first get into the process, say, hey, I'm interested. You call up Redfin. I might want to sell my home with you guys. You're going to get one agent who's going to schmooze you up, going to tell you all the benefits, all this great stuff, do all the research on your home, tell you what it's worth, tell you what the executed plan is. Here's the thing you need to know about that individual for starters. That is a W-2'd Monday through Friday employee, meaning they're not working on weekends, meaning they're not working at nights. If you've been through any real estate transaction, those are pretty important times in the real estate game. In every aspect of what they do, they hire out different people. Even for the open houses, they have hourly associated agents, meaning there's people who, I get applications from Redfin all the time asking me to come work for the company. Basically, I would sign up as an associated agent. There's just a board of available open houses, and you just say which ones you're willing to work, and you go get paid an hourly wage to go sit that house. Why is that a problem? Is you want the person at your open house to be the expert on your house, and there is no guarantee that's going to happen with some hourly wage associate agent. And that's every part of the process. So every part of the ordeal is going to be a different perspective, different person in the Redfin company, which is a huge hassle. Go online. Don't take my word for it. Go look at the reviews when it comes to selling your home with Redfin. And number one, that'd be plastered everywhere, is communication. My job as a real estate agent is essentially to be available 24/7, because I am telling you, there are very few completely smooth transactions. Things comes up, there's negotiation throughout. An agent's job is to be available for their clients and to execute all of those things. You do not want to buy. If a buyer comes into your home for an open house and that agent can't tell them about the roof when it was last done, they can't tell them about the septic or sewer system, they can't tell them about all the little details, that is going to throw buyers off and is going to hurt you as a home seller. And let's finish off with their third point when it comes to their selling point. And this one is the dirtiest of them all, because what they promote is that homes on Redfin sell for an average of $4,300 more. And that is 100% true. But the caveat when it comes to that, it's on, not from. Meaning, a home that is listed on Redfin sells on average $4,300 more than a home that is not. And that is 100% true, because any real estate agent, anybody with some competence to sell their home, is going to put their home up on Redfin. Of course you are. Just like you're going to put it up on MLS, just like you're going to put it up on Zillow, right? And those homes get more eyes because it's, 2023, and basically people search for homes on the internet. The only people who don't put the home on Redfin are people who are for sale by owner or terrible real estate agents. So that 4,300 number is irrelevant, and that should give you some insight. When they have misleading information like that, that is a big issue. What is the value of a real estate agent, and how does it compensate for the 10 grand, right? A great real estate agent's job is, number one, when it comes to selling a home, is marketing. And Redfin's not going to market. Will they put up signs? Will they host open houses? Will they put your home up on the internet? All things an agent would do, of course. But really, in my experience dealing with real estate agents in the real estate game, it is the great marketers that provide the most value and will bridge that gap of the $10,000 by marketing your home, especially in today's day and age when people just spend all their time, as I just mentioned, on the World Wide Web, on social media, you have to find ways to market a home. And when you talk to these agents and they say, oh, I'm going to put your home onto Zillow, Redfin, and I'm going to market this home to my farm, those aren't marketing. Those are do nothing. Those are just normal parts of the process that anybody's going to do. I'm talking about real marketing. So when you're working with an agent especially, make sure you make them prove to you how they're going to put in extra work and time to market your home. The other part goes back to number two, which is availability and the workload. Like, what do you know about contingencies? What do you know about the inspection process? They need to be available to make the process easy for you, right? You can fix your car on your own. You can do your taxes on your own, but you don't have the expertise and you don't have the time to do those. That's why you pay people to do them, right? You're willing to have somebody come out and fix your windows for 10 grand, but you're not willing to pay somebody who's supposed to be specializing in selling your home. The other aspect of it is the negotiation aspect, right? So when people are negotiating, hourly salary position people at Redfin are negotiating the sale of your price. Do you think they're going to have more incentive? Or do you think an agent who is going to make more money the higher that price sells is more motivated for that aspect? So you got to take that into play, because the other aspect, great agents do two things importantly when it comes to selling a home. They market incredibly and they're incredible negotiators. And those two things, when you find a good agent, are what bridge that gap to 10 grand. So if I had to rank it, and here's the reality. First one, my number one choice, if you're selling your home, you want to get top dollar, best experience, work through everything, get it done correctly, is a good real estate agent. Number two, is for sale by owner. I put that above Redfin because what you're getting from Redfin is you're just getting the bells and the whistle. You're just getting the processing done for you. And if you have the time to go out and possibly market yourself, pay the money, right? You can save that 1.5%. You're still, if you're for sale by owner, most times you're still going to have to pay that buyer's agent. That money's going to come out of the process, right? So you can save the extra 15 grand and sell it on yourself if you can go through and market it yourself, do all the things, and spend some of that money to do everything yourself, right? That's just the reality of it. Then I'll put Redfin, and then I'll put bad real estate agents because there are a lot of bad real estate agents out there. And I don't think they are worth the value. If you've got a bad real estate, and you're better off going with Redfin and saving the 10 grand and just letting the market dictate where your home sells. So just be careful when it comes to this Redfin. I mean, like I mentioned, they show you in their marketing that they're trying to have some semblance of misleading information towards you. Go look at the reviews, make an educated decision. But the reality is this is a huge transaction for you, most likely. Get with a professional. Interview multiple agents, right? And tell them specifically how they're going to market it. Bring up Redfin. Tell them straight to their face, hey, I can save 10 grand right now by signing with Redfin. What are you going to do differently to make that money up and put them on the hot seat? Have a great day. Be kind.